Carrie Crowley's guest on Sunday's Snapshots was former EU Commissioner Peter Sutherland, who's now chairman of Goldman Sachs. He remembered his time in politics.
I stood once for election in 1973, and at that time we went to a function for the constituency in the Summit Hotel in Howth, which wasn't in the constituency actually, which was Cabra and Finglas area. But in any event, they called on me to sing, and in an act of total treachery, I suggested that my wife should sing. Something she's been getting revenge for ever since by suggesting that I should sing rather than her. And of course I've never learned the words of virtually any song. But in any event, she got up I remember in the Summit Hotel and sang Quanta Namera, and probably succeeded in getting me whatever paltry number of votes I actually got in that general election.
1973, when you did stand for election for Fine Gael, and you say, and I know that you've said it before as well, that your wife's canvassing was probably the only reason why you got the votes that you did get. But you weren't the last. You were the last to be eliminated. You weren't the first to go. So you didn't do too badly.
No, fortunately I did well. I mean, I lasted a long way, but it was quite obvious from an early stage that I would ultimately be eliminated. I mean, I was the last to be eliminated, but there was quite a gap between me and the last seat to be actually won. But it was an experience which I enjoyed. I put my heart and soul into it, and I do remember calling on one house in, I think it was Carnlough Road in Cabra, and going to the door of a house, knocking on the door, and somebody opened the door and said, "Well, what do you want?" And I said, "Well, I want to vote." And he said, "Oh, well, I'm afraid you're not going to get a vote in this house." And I said, "Why not?" And he said, "Because we've made up our mind." And I said, "Oh, I see. Well, maybe you'd give me your third or fourth or fifth preference or whatever it might be." And I said, "There's no possibility of getting a vote in this house." And I said, "Well, why not? Have you got a particular political party?" And no, he said. Well, I said, "Who are you voting for?" And he let a roar out to his wife. Mary said, "Who are we voting for anyway?" And she shouted from the back of the house, "Oh, the Spanish one's husband." So I said, "Well, that actually is me."
Another woman who stood by her man, her husband Peter Sutherland, was heard on Snapshots.